Hello and welcome back to my channel, and I apologize for not making or posting any video about a week ago. I have been really busy, but I am back now making a new video for you. Now today's cooking video, we will be making a creamy garlic chicken. Now we've made creamy garlic prawns before. If you haven't seen that video, it's on my YouTube channel. Just go and subscribe and just watch the video. Now, when we're talking about creamy garlic chicken, it's more or less the same method of cooking. But one thing about this recipe is that I'll be using lots and lots of garlic. I love garlic, so that's why it's called creamy garlic chicken. There's not a lot of ingredients to make this recipe. The main ingredients, of course, will be chicken. Now, what type of chickens I'll be using today? I always love using chicken thighs due to the fact that it's more flavorful and it's really easy to cook. Now, in this recipe, what you can do is to get 6 skin on bone-in chicken thighs because that will add the flavor into the recipe itself. Then the second main ingredient that required for this recipe is garlic. So you require at least about 20 to 25 cloves of garlic. Now when it comes to garlic, you do not need to smash the garlic or chop or mince the garlic itself. All you need to do is just, peel the garlic and then just put it in and cook. The other ingredients that we require for this recipe will be about a cup of white wine, about 1/3 cup of yogurt, a half cup of chicken broth, and we also require paprika. So it can be a normal paprika or it can actually be paprika smoke, but in this recipe I will be using paprika smoke because of the smell. The smoke smell, it adds more flavor to it. And we will also be using ground pepper. It can be a black pepper or white pepper. In this recipe I will be using a ground white pepper itself. We also be using thyme. So you might be wondering what is thyme. So you can actually get this spice from supermarkets here in Australia, or I'm pretty sure you can get them overseas as well. And to top it off, we also require parsley. Just a chopped parsley just to make the recipe look beautiful, look green, and I don't know, maybe an exciting recipe to eat. I will be showing you on how to cook this recipe, so stay tuned. We're gonna jump into the cooking process. So let's get started. Before you cook the chicken, what you need to do is to season the chicken with little salt and pepper. Now what we're gonna do now is we are going to add in olive oil into the pan, about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. So just make sure that the olive oil is distributed evenly on the pan. Now what we're trying to achieve here is we want to heat up the skillet. So if you have a cast iron skillet, that would be good. If not, you can actually use any of the skillets or pans that you have. And first thing we're gonna do is we are going to pan fry the chicken until both surfaces become crispy or nicely brown. Okay, then we will remove the chicken from the skillet and we will then set it aside for roughly about 10 to 15 minutes, and just make sure that the types of the brown of the chicken is what you're looking for. I'm going to add the chicken now. I may have forgotten to mention how many chicken thighs required for this recipe. It's actually up to you. For this recipe, I'm actually using 5 chicken thighs. Again, skin on and bone in chicken thighs. So I'm gonna cook one side at least about 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm gonna cover this pan, and then I'm gonna turn it over to see, and then to cook the other side of the chicken. Just checking my chicken, and it seems that it is browning really nicely. As you can see here, you might think that you can see a lot of oil in it. It's not actually oil. The moisture from the chicken itself, so it's a mix of olive oil and water now. So we're cooking the next side for another 5 to 10 minutes. We just want to make sure that we cook the chicken properly. And then we're going to continue with the next steps. Now I have removed the chicken from the pan and I set it aside. Now what happened just now was I've discarded a bit of the chicken fat from the skillet. And what I'm gonna do now is I am going to saute the garlic until it became light brown. So add in the whole garlic, the 20 to 25 of garlic into the pan. So it is actually up to you if you want to just clean the pan and then use new olive oil, but for me I would actually use the olive oil that I've used earlier, just because it will add more flavor to my chicken recipe. So cook the garlic cloves for at least 2 to 5 minutes, and as I mentioned earlier, until it gets brown. You can actually smell the garlic cooking, and it smells really, really nice. You can also increase the heat if need be. Well, I can actually see that the garlic cloves are turning to brown. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to add the chicken back into the pan. Simple as that. flip it over. And control the heat and then lower down the heat. Now add in 1 cup of chicken stock into the pan. And 1/3 cup of white wine into the pan as well. And 1/4 cup of plain yogurt into the pan. And then just mix. From here, let it simmer from 20 to 25 minutes or until chicken's cooked. Then after that, we will be adding other ingredients into this recipe. As you can see, it is simmering really nicely. So I have put in some couple of thyme leaves into the pan earlier. What I'm gonna do now is I'm going to add in salt to taste, 1 pinch of paprika. It's up to you if you want to add more paprika into the chicken itself. It can be ground white or black peppers. Then just mix and make sure you taste the sauce and adjust it to your liking. Fabulous. And just switch it off and garnish the dish with parsley. Then serve immediately. So there you are, my version of creamy garlic chicken. Now let's dive in and taste the recipe. Chicken's really moist. The sauce is to die for. As I mentioned to you earlier, you can adjust by adding more salt, paprika into your recipe. As long as you're fine with it, then go ahead with that. Now, one good thing to eat with this recipe is you can have it with white rice, you can also have it with brown rice, or you can have it with couscous. Now, in my previous recipes, I always have my cooked recipes with couscous. I always use whole grain couscous because it's a bit healthier, low GI. So that's all for my today's recipe. But before we go, let's have a bit of a drink of red wine. Now, for the people who know wine pairings with food, so chicken, you don't normally drink red wine with chicken. You tend to pair chicken recipes with white wine. But who cares? Like, I love my red wine, it's really good. And as far as I'm concerned, it's Friday and you always want to make sure that, you have a nice red wine in front of you just to relax, chill out, and just flow. So that's just me. Anyway, it has been pleasure cooking in front of you again as usual. Thank you for joining me in this journey of making the creamy chicken garlic. This has been Dave. Thank you for joining me. Do not forget to like and most of all subscribe to my channel to see more of my cooking videos, and there'll be more of my other lifestyle videos as well. So please stay tuned and I will see you in my next video. In the meantime, have a great day ahead of you, positive vibes, and last but not least, please be safe with this uncertain situation that we're currently having at the moment. Okay, so thank you for joining me again.